Now that we've spoken about the importance of organization and structure, I want to show you how we're going to start putting that into practice. In this lesson, I'm going to walk you through the basics of Trello and show you how we'll use it as a simple life and work management system. Trello is not the solution in itself, it's just a tool. What matters most is learning how to think in a more structured way, keep track of responsibilities, and stop carrying everything in your head. Start by going to Trello.com and creating a free account if you don't already have one. Once you're inside Trello, we're going to create your very first board. Create a board and call it My Life Management System. If you're one of my students, I'd like you to use that exact name because it's the system we'll be working with throughout the training. If you're watching this outside of the course, feel free to name your board whatever works best for you. This board is going to become your personal workspace, a place where you manage your tasks, responsibilities, reminders, and even things you need to follow up on. Before we continue, you can also take a moment to personalize your board a little. On the top right-hand corner, you will see 3 dots. When you click on it, you will find Change Background. Here you can either change a photo or you can have a plain color. I'm going to choose a photo. Choose something clean, simple, and not too distracting. This doesn't affect how Trello works, but it does make your workspace feel more personal and enjoyable to use. And when a system feels good to work in, you're more likely to keep using it consistently. Before we build a system, let me quickly explain how Trello works. Your board is your full workspace, in this case, your life management system. Inside your board, you create lists. Lists are the different stages your tasks move through. Inside those lists, you create cards. Cards are the actual things you need to manage, like tasks, reminders, ideas, follow-ups, and responsibilities. So think of it like this. The board is your whole system. The lists are the stages of your workflow. And cards are the individual tasks moving through that workflow. Once you understand that, Trello becomes very simple. Now let's build the basic structure of your board. Create these 5 lists. Inbox, this comes standard. To do, doing, waiting, and completed. This is the workflow we'll be using. Everything starts by being captured, then moved into action, then worked on, then tracked if we're waiting on something, and finally marked as completed when it is truly finished. Let me show you what each list is for. Your inbox is where everything goes first. If something comes to mind, if you remember something, if you need to do something later, put it in your inbox by creating a card. The goal is to get it out of your head and into your system. Your to-do is for the tasks you've decided you are actually going to do. These are your commitments, the things you are taking responsibility for. Your doing is for the tasks you are actively working on right now. Try not to keep too many things here at once. This is your focus zone. Your waiting is for tasks that are not finished yet because you are waiting on something or someone, maybe a reply, approval, information, or feedback. Completed is where tasks go once they are fully done and there's nothing left outstanding. Let me show you a simple real-life example. Let's say I remember that I need to book a dentist appointment. The moment I think of it, I create a card and I put it into the inbox. Later, when I decide I'm going to sort it out, I move it to do. When I actually start working on it, for example, I call the dentist or send a message, that is when I will move it to doing. If I leave a message and I'm now waiting for them to get back to me with a date or confirmation, that's when it will move to waiting. Only once the appointment is actually booked and confirmed, then it will move to completed. So you can see, the task isn't complete just because I made the call. It's complete when the full outcome is done. Let's use another example. Let's say a client sends a message asking for a logo update. First, I capture that request in the inbox. Once I've reviewed it and committed to doing it, that is when I'll move it to do. When I start working on the update, I will move it to doing. Once I send the updated logo to the client, if I'm waiting for approval or feedback, it does not go to completed. It'll go to waiting. Only once the client has approved it, the final file has been saved properly and there's nothing else left to do, that is when I'll move it to completed. This is something I really want you to understand clearly. A task is only complete when there is nothing left to do. Not when you've started it, not when you've done part of it, not when you've sent it off and you're still waiting for a response. If there's still a follow-up, approval, response, or next step needed, it is not completed yet. That's exactly why the waiting list matters so much. It helps you keep track of tasks that are still in progress, even if the next step depends on someone else. The most important rule in the system is simple. Nothing stays in your head. Everything goes into your system. That's one of the biggest habits I want you to build. The moment you remember something, think of something, or are given something to do, capture it. You can organize it properly afterwards, but first get it out of your head and into your board. That's how you reduce stress, stop forgetting things, and start building real structure. So that's the basic Trello system we'll be using. It's simple, but it's powerful when you use it consistently. Remember, this is not just about learning a platform. It's about building the habit of tracking your responsibilities, following things through properly, and creating a system you can trust. Your next step is to create your own My Life Management System board, add your 5 lists, and start capturing what's currently in your head. The more you use it, the more natural it will become. And over time, this won't just help you manage your own life better, it will also help you become the kind of virtual assistant who can manage client work with structure, calm, and confidence.